Yo guys, it's your boy Renji's Universe back again with another video, and I just wanted to take this time to say, well, to also remind everybody that that's a comic book fan like me, that comic book representation in a comic book film is important. Even though certain people nowadays try to dismiss it, don't really listen to that, man. Comic book representation is still a thing, it's still important. Otherwise, Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac wouldn't be doing it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse wouldn't be doing it. Bumblebee, the 2018 movie, wouldn't have done it. Transformers Rise of the Beast definitely wouldn't have done it. If comic book representation wasn't a necessity for like comic book films, most of these films, comic book related of course, that have been made nowadays wouldn't even happen. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because there's no doubt that when it comes to Marvel and DC right now is that, and I'm not trying to bash Marvel or DC or anything, but I'm critiquing it from a good place because of where I grew up with it and what I love from the universes. It's no secret that Marvel and DC have been on a decline majorly when it comes to content in terms of shows and movies. Now, granted, Marvel has had some wins, like Spider-Man, I think it was No Way Home, and Wakanda Forever and Shang-Chi. Those movies were wins. Those movies were hard wins. But everything else that came after that... Oh, Guardians 3 too. Guardians 3 was also really good. But as I was saying before, anything else after that, man, I mean, it's no secret, man. The Marvels is not looking good in terms of what we've been shown from the movie. And no one's really hyped for it, man. For obvious reasons that I won't say in this video. But if you know, you know. And I just want Marvel to do what Spider-Verse did. Comic book representation is not a bad thing. It's just Marvel and DC nowadays really want to fight it. However, I won't say that for Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was also a win for DC. And, well, not financially, but fandom-wise, it was pretty well received. I mean, depending on who you asked. I mean, Blue Beetle to me wasn't really a bad film. I'm going to just be honest with you. Like, it was exactly as I remember Blue Beetle growing up. Now, the villain was a mystery to me. Like, I've never seen that villain before. But, Aquaman 2, very, very mixed on it. I mean, the whole world is not really mixed on it. The whole world is, not really hyped for it for obvious reasons. But one thing I will praise Aquaman for, even though this movie has never really had a good story, the fight scenes were really good. So, I mean, if the fight scenes are as good as they are in the first one, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, guys, if you grew up with comic book films and Marvel, DC, Transformers, anime, and anyone tries to tell you comic book representation isn't important, don't listen to that, man. Don't listen to that, man. Because the whole reason I'm doing a fan-made series related to all my favorite universes that I like is because I feel like people that are fans of what I'm a fan of deserve a good story out of it. And just like Dragon Ball right now, fans are taking the story into their own hands. Like, if you're not going to give people the stories they want, they will practice, they will train themselves, they will learn how to animate and create the stories they want themselves. And I plan to do a video talking about Dragon Ball Magic and why I'm personally not excited for it. But if you know me personally and you talked to me about it, then you already know why. I'm still going to do a video on it regardless because it's Dragon Ball and it's the first anime I ever watched. But yeah, guys, don't let anyone tell you comic book representation isn't important. Because that's why majority of Transformer films, well, the new ones, that's why the new ones are a hit with the fandom. That's why Spider-Man never fails outside of the comics. Well, outside of the new comics. The old comics are still really good. I recommend you read the older ones, not the new ones. Freaking Paul, man. But yeah, basically just love your source material and you get success, man. Hopefully Marvel and DC can start realizing that again, and people can get quality comic book stories like the animated stuff we got back in the old days. Well, what's considered the old days now. That even though the animated content from Marvel and DC is considered old, like the ones that came out prior to this time period, people still watch that stuff nowadays because the stories are good. But I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. A little bit of an update. I also got Spider-Man 2 pre-ordered, and it will be streamed when I get my hands on it. Can't wait for that game, and can't wait for. It's probably gonna get the same amount of. It's probably gonna get the same reception as the first one did, and this should have been a movie. And I'm willing to bet my left leg that's probably gonna be my mindset too. Because so far from what we've seen of this game, story-wise and gameplay-wise, I really would love this to be like even though it probably won't happen, I would love for the MCU to like introduce Miles this way. If they can pull it off. I mean, with the stuff we've been getting, everyone has a right to be scared for like when Miles gets into live action. Hopefully they do it right. But it's your boy Renji's Universe signing off. Don't forget, love your source material of the series you grew up with, and you get success, man. That's the key to comic book films, man. It's not hard.